Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to fundamentally shift how you approach your messaging so that your sales start feeling completely natural instead of forced. Look, if you've ever felt like you're just shouting into the void, just listening to crickets after hitting publish, you are absolutely in the right place. We're breaking down source material that reveals the hidden mechanics of prospect psychology. We're going to look at the exact reasons why certain messages make us literally stop in our tracks and exactly how you can replicate that effect. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the content creation trap, and how we break the habit. We have all been there, right? It's 11 p.m., you're staring at an empty calendar, and you're feeling this immense pressure to just put something, anything out there. But our source material highlights a massive pitfall here, which is never create content just to create content. When you treat your publishing schedule like some quota you just have to blindly fill, your audience can feel it. It lacks intention, it lacks focus, and most importantly, it completely lacks connection to the very people you're trying to reach. Making content simply for the sake of making content is, without a doubt, a guaranteed way to kill your engagement. Moving right along to Section 2, joining the inner conversation. This is the core principle. Think about traditional marketing for a sec. For decades, it's relied entirely on interruption. A loud commercial interrupting a TV show or an annoying pop-up ad covering the article you're actually trying to read. You're basically stepping in front of someone and shouting, "Hey, stop what you're doing and look at me." But you've got to stop interrupting your prospect's day. Instead, the strategy here is to strategically join the conversation that's already happening inside their mind. You aren't starting a new dialogue from scratch. You're just seamlessly entering the one they're already having with themselves. So the really crucial takeaway is that every single piece of content you produce needs to act like a mirror. When your content reflects exactly what they're already thinking about, the whole dynamic flips. Imagine going from being that annoying pop-up ad to a welcome participant in their own thought process. How much easier would selling be? The data absolutely proves that when you do this, you're going to naturally see a massive spike in clicks, reads, views, listens, the whole shebang. Your audience engages because you're finally speaking their internal language. Which brings us to Section 3, the 6 prospect triggers. Let's talk about reading their mind. To be truly effective, your content has got to speak directly to 6 specific triggers. First up, their fears. Are they terrified of wasting money or maybe failing publicly? Second, their desires. What's the ultimate dream outcome they're hustling for? Third, frustrations. What annoying little roadblock tripped them up just today? Fourth, questions. What are they actively Googling or trying to figure out right now? Fifth, their current problems, those immediate nagging pain points they need solved today. And finally, number 6, recent news or events. What external factors out in the world are currently messing with their lives or their business? When you run your ideas through this 6-point filter, you are practically guaranteed to hit a nerve. You're no longer guessing what they care about, you are mapping your message directly onto their psychological reality. All right, Section 4, the "that's me" effect and triggering the reaction. When you accurately hit those specific triggers we just went over, you kick off this incredibly powerful, escalating psychological chain reaction in your prospect. The very first stage of this reaction is instant identification. Basically, they stop their scrolling because this exact thought flashes through their mind. Whoa, that's me. In a sea of endless digital noise, guys, this is the holy grail. You've successfully arrested their attention because they literally see their own reflection in your words. But it doesn't just stop at identification, right? The resonance goes deeper. As they keep reading or listening, they transition right into phase 2 of the reaction. I'm dealing with that. This is the exact moment where trust is born. They realize you aren't just broadcasting some generic advice. You actually possess a deep, real understanding of the exact struggle they're facing right in this very moment. You've just established real empathy. And that leads to the most crucial shift of all. The tension builds up and this intense curiosity takes over. They think, okay, I need to know the answer. At this point, they are practically begging to click and discover the solution that you're holding. You haven't pushed them at all. Their own internal realization has pulled them forward, demanding a resolution to the tension you just perfectly articulated. Now for Section 5, the natural sales formula. It's all about guiding, not forcing. So now that you've got their undivided, eager attention, it's time to master how we seamlessly guide them to the actual sale. Our source material is crystal clear on this. Do not force it. We have all experienced that awful whiplash when a super insightful post suddenly turns into a hard, aggressive pitch. It instantly kills the trust, doesn't it? Instead of forcing a transaction, you've got to educate them. Your goal is to use educational content to teach them why the problem they're experiencing exists in the first place, and then systematically explain why your specific solution works. By doing this, you naturally increase their desire to solve the problem. You're elevating their readiness until your offer becomes the absolute obvious next step. Here is your exact masterclass formula for executing this seamlessly. It happens in 3 precise steps. Step 1. Name the problem. When your content names the problem your prospect is already feeling, they become interested. It totally validates their experience. Step 2. Explain the solution. As you educate them on how to actually fix it, they become convinced. This is where you establish authority. And finally, step 3. Present the offer. Only after they're interested and convinced should your offer appear. When you do it in this exact order, you aren't even really selling. You're simply presenting the natural, inevitable answer they've been searching for all along. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this. The next time you're about to open a blank document and create your next piece of content, I want you to pause, just stop, and ask yourself this one provocative question. What conversation is your prospect having in their head right now? If you can answer that, and if you can seamlessly join that dialogue instead of just shouting out into the void, everything changes. The engagement, the trust, the sales, they're all going to follow completely naturally. Think about it.